Another around the kitchen table. I've got to talk about it, baby formulas. And some of these days, we just wonder how many times we're going to go through these recalls. So every day when new things come, I want to talk to you about some of these recalls, about some of these formulas and best way to treat formulas. I want to do a special thing on Formula Day because of these constant shortages and what formulas people should be considering when they have a newborn baby. First of all, formulas are, for the most part, they're all excellent, at least in this country. The major manufacturers like Similac and Enfamil, those are the two major ones. And there's Good Start and there's other ones. But those ones, they all are going to do a good job in terms of providing the fat, the protein, and the sugar for your child. Now, when we talk about different formulas and parents, when do we switch, what formula should my baby on, and all those type of details. How much formula should my baby take, all these things. So usually, generally speaking, when you go to the hospital and you take your newborn home, you have all these questions about formula versus breast milk. Certainly, breast milk is the best milk. If obviously, if you can give your baby breast milk, I want you to do that. But generally, some moms, they come from a C-section or maybe first time feeding and they have a problem with the breastfeeding. I want you to work with your lactation coaches and these folks to better learn strategies to help you with that. But when we turn around and we look at it, it's all about baby nutrition. And so there's different formulas that you can use. The primary formulas are based off a cow's milk formula, and those cow milk formulas have appropriate proteins, fats, and sugars as they try to assimilate what's in the breast milk. Now, I think that sometimes we get caught up in switching from Similac to Enfamil, but that's like switching from Coke to Pepsi. There's really not a whole lot of difference in the formulas, and formula makers, of course, will probably beg differ with that statement, but the primary ones, they're based off of a cow's milk base formulas with the protein, the fat, and sugar. So sometimes the babies may have some lactose intolerance, and then we'll use a formula that has a decreased amount of lactose in there. So things would be like Enfamil, that might be Gentilese, or with Similac, that might be sensitive. But those ones basically have some of the same protein structures, but they have a limited amount of the lactose in there. So those are before that gassy baby. But let's go a little bit further. Let's say you got a gassy baby who also is maybe distended, constipated, and really, really uncomfortable, even after switching to the sensitive formula. Well, if that's the case, then you may also have to address the protein. So again, when we switch formulas, we switch because of the fat, the protein, or the sugar. So generally, the first step might be to just consider the sugar problem. But then, you got your baby on this Gentilese or this sugar limited formulas, and you find out that, man, he's still gassy, he's still bloated, he's still constipated. Those kids, man, we got to go to hydrolyzed formulas. That would be like Alimentum for Similac, or you might have heard Nutramigen for Enfamil. Both of them excellent formulas. I've used them all in practice over 20 years. And I tell you what, they work extremely well for colic. They work extremely well because the fat, the protein, sugar is completely broken down. Well, not completely, but to small chains that elicit limited amounts of immunogenicity or allergic reactions. These are kids classically that respond pretty quickly to the Nutramigen or Alimentum. And if they don't, there are even greater hydrolyzed formulas that break down the proteins to their single amino acids. But again, for the most part, for most of my kids, just switching to Nutramigen and Alimentum if I think they have a protein sensitivity. So again, if we think that, hey, my baby has lactose intolerant, I'm talking about the sugar. If I'm talking about allergy to milk, I'm talking about the protein. And so you can see that there are a number of formulas. So if your baby is facing a shortage and you're on a regular cow milk formula, you can use any of them. They're all going to work. You can either use soy or almond milks and soy milk formulas. Those are going to change the protein and the sugar content so that the babies can better digest those formulas. And the hydrolyzed formulas are there. So if you're on a regular formula and that has been limited, you can use pretty much any of these, even the other labels like the Good Starts and some of the formulas that are made at some of the larger chain stores. So again, guys, I wanted to put that out there because of this constant formula, and I get patients all the time. I can't find the formula. I can't find my baby's formula. What should I do? So I would tell you, relax. It's okay. It's okay. There's a number of different things out there that we can use and we can try. And certainly, if you get stuck, just come on in. We'll get you something. But that's my little bit of take on formulas. And so, if you have any other questions, if you want to talk more about formulas, you can hit me, drop me a line, on leave a message, and I'll certainly be happy to do another segment on formulas more specifically, or more specifically for your case. Again, that's another segment of Around the Kitchen Table, and thank you for joining me again, spending your time here on my channel. Have a good night, and remember, love on that baby, hug on that baby, and feed that baby. Okay? All right. Thank you. Good night.